Hello and welcome, genties and ladlemen. It is in fact your boy, Sir Edward, and welcome to Cracking the Shell episode 8. It's like one more than 7, I think. I don't know anymore. But today on this episode, we have Chris Ryan of Party Cannon and Iniquitous Savagery. And when he said that he was game to do this, I kind of peed my pants a little, but that's irrelevant. Chris, how's it going?
Yeah, not bad, man. Also peed my pants a bit, but for reasons, but we're all good. Cheers to having me on. It's a pleasure. Pleasure to be here.
No, it's good seeing you again, man. So before we get into the new album, what's happening now, and of course the tour happening in September, which will plug the shit out of that, I'd like to rewind the clock a little bit and find out about, I suppose, your upbringing, your kind of early life, first bands, getting into music, the origin story, that
Okay,
section.
go. So yeah, didn't really come from like a musical family or anything like that. As far as I know, I'm the only person who's like played an instrument in my family. Like, my parents are like veterinary surgeons and stuff. Like one goes like a doctor and things and stuff, and they're kind of a bit more like academically inclined than I was.
Yeah,
But yeah,
same.
no, like yeah, I don't know, from our age, like my parents like listening to like Black Sabbath and Cream and Led Zeppelin and stuff like that. So when I was younger, like obviously I heard like distorted guitars and like metal riffs and stuff in the house. Like my dad always tells me he saw like Iron Maiden like by accident when he was like fucking 13 and stuff. Like so, he's a lot of things. Like there's all of this like Thin Lizzy stuff in the house. Like he's always telling me stories about seeing Queen and like the Eagles and stuff. So rock music, that kind of heavy thing, like or kind of heavier stuff. It's always been in the house. Like I would understand my parents like are full on like into metal, but they did like rock music and hard rock and things. Um, mom really like Black Sabbath and bands like that. So that was always like around me growing up. So I kind of used to it. So when I was like getting into metal, when I first started getting into music, like the first band I ever really got into like Iron Maiden. So when I heard that, it just kind of makes sense. Like, okay, cool. I've been hearing like guitar riffs like my whole life. So I started getting like metal stuff. And it always makes sense. Because I went to like high school and stuff and met people there were like into metal and they kind of introduced me to like heavier things. And yeah, it kind of went from there. Um, First band though, obviously being a bass player, the reason I ended up playing bass is because all my friends play guitar and like, oh, we need a bass player. So I ended up doing that. That's usually the case. Um, yeah, so my first band was a band called, well, first like proper band. I had like shitty little bands that never like rehearsed or wrote any song. I just kind of met up and like attended to play some covers at some point. But first actual like band that like played gigs and wrote original music, I was like, oh, like an acceptable standards was a band called Psychoanalysis, formed like 2006, which is coming to 20 years ago, which is kind of scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck man, it's been a while. That was kind of like, I don't know, that kind of came out around the same time as like Trivium and Black Dahlia and stuff was like really popular. So like, I kind of just sound like that, like your typical high school band, like metal death riffs and the high vocals and things. Uh, the lead guitarist of the band was really good though. He was legit like really talented at writing music. He was like a very good guitar player. So I was kind of lucky to be in a band with him starting off because obviously it was quite like informative, like jamming with him because he actually explain stuff to me. He actually had good ideas. He could explain like why he wrote songs like this and stuff like that, and songs that like more interesting than like an average band of like 15-year-olds had like interesting guitar solos and things like that. Like he put like a lot of effort like practicing. So that was kind of cool. But I mean, we didn't really do anything like too major. Like I was really into like pushing the band, but we played like also going like the foreign based. Most worthwhile gigs were like in Edinburgh, Aberdeen, Glasgow, and things like that. Dundee. I figured I'd find out where gigs was in Dundee, but we're kind of like reliant on our parents driving us places because we're like fucking like not old enough to drive. So we played like Irish Lags, like support slots and stuff like that. Just typical selling tickets to your mates type thing, kind of guilt tripping them to come to see you. I fucking hated. Like I fucking hated and stuff like that. But that was kind of good for learning how gigs worked and what was loaded and how do you stick to set time, how do you play to an audience, what the fuck is like a monitor mix and things like that. So that was pretty fun. But as time went on and we got older, like I kind of realized like I don't know, like I got more and more into like death metal as time went on. And I remember there was like a point where it's like I don't want to play this kind of music anymore. I want to sound like Discord. I heard the song "The Range Epidemic" by Discord. And when that big chunky slam came in, like, cool, I want to play this now. I don't want to do fucking like at the gate style stuff anymore. I was just kind of, and that was kind of a big turning point because obviously, like, even when you're into metal, your friends in high school aren't into like brutal death metal and stuff.
Mm,
So I was
yeah.
kind of like, okay, yeah, like no matter like who you go to high school with, they're probably not listen to like Discord environment and things. So that's what I was talking about. Like, go, I need to like enjoy jamming with my friends and stuff, but it's not really for me this kind of music.
Mm.
So at that point, like, I'm gonna seek for other things. I'm gonna go out and see if I can find other people who are like in real death metal, and that's when I discovered bands like Cerebral Bore and um, Amputated and Vomitour Soul and stuff was kind of happening on time. So it was about like 2009, 2010. Uh, I kind of got really into real death metal around then because I went to university in Stirling. I got trained to go see Amputated, Vomitour Soul, Sepulchral Gorge, and Embryonic Depravity. Played Bannerman's in Edinburgh, and that was like my first proper like underground like real death metal gig. And when I was there, this guy turned around to me. He went, "Oh, does anyone play bass?" He's like, "I play bass." And that guy was Joe from Iniquitous Savagery. So started jamming with him, and we formed Iniquitous Savagery in 2010. Just me, him, and original was Josh, just jamming his flat in Glasgow. And that's when I started like, okay, cool. Through that, I was like, think I can actually play. I can actually find other people who want to play this kind of music. And yeah, from there on, like I met like Paul and Super Bore and things like that. And so things they were doing, and they weren't like fucking playing Arab Black Celtics and bass. They're like playing Russia with TV Sun and things like that. And it's kind of that point like, okay, cool, right? I don't need to be doing psychonauts anymore. I can form a band with people who like want to play the same kind of music as me, and we can network. We can fucking just make it happen. So we, yeah, formed Iniquitous Savagery. But shortly after that, sorry, pardon me. Shortly after that, we formed Party Canada, some people in the forum. Basically, there was there's another band in the firm called Lycanthropy or Lycanthropy. It's like a weird misspelling, like a Death Fresh band. And they all had fallen out with their bass player, and they all wanted to play Blue Death Metal as well. I didn't really know these guys too well, but kind of knew of each other. And they got in touch with like, oh, we're going to start like a Blue Death Metal side project. Then we just kicked our, we don't want to be around the bass player anymore, so do you want to join this band? So this, and that became Party Can. So yeah, I think I'm kind of straight off your original question, Bill. How did you, what was your upbringing like? Or were you listening when you're younger? But in
Yeah.
short, I went from, like, short, like, parents listened to Black Sabbath. I found out about Iron Maiden. I also like Trivium for a bit. Then I kind of went in deep end and just listened to Dying Fetus and Discord. And here I am, age 32, fucking still listening to it.
Yeah. No, it was kind of an open-ended thing, just kind of get the origin story kind of thing, almost like setting up context for what you're doing now, which Party Cannon has been around for nearly 15 years, which is
Yeah,
kind of insane to think about. Did you think you would be anywhere near where you're at, having toured in America, Europe, Asia, pretty much all over the world? Did you ever think you were ever going to get to that point?
absolutely not, man. I fully anticipated Party Canada play some gigs in Europe and kind of call it a day there. Like, cool. I said nobody was fucking us a band. I brought them a band called Party Can. Like,
Yeah.
because when we started, I mean, I would never say slam's like a popular thing or brutal death metal is like a popular thing. It's definitely there's definitely more young people into it than there was back then. Also, because like social media is a thing. Spotify, like anyone can be on Spotify these days. Like back when I got into brutal death, back in my day, back when I got into brutal death metal and things, you either had to order a CD from like a fucking like sketchy distro or nuke your PC by like downloading tracks of LimeWire. And like MySpace was like it was kind of dying off at that point,
Yeah.
and obviously you could go on like a MySpace and but bands only usually have like one or two songs in there, so it's kind of hard like, to find things. And like YouTube started becoming like a thing, so yeah, you're shitty like 128 kilobytes like rips of like Ultimate Slam compilations on like YouTube and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
back then, like if you think Slam's unpopular now, back then it was like nobody knew what the fuck it was. Like that was like just some guys in Europe who probably knew it. There's the Environment Forum, there which had like a few hundred people on it. So at that point, the glass ceiling for Party Can felt like we might play a festival in Europe to 200 people, and that'd be that. So that's all I kind of envisioned. Then time went on, and we started playing more gigs, started getting more offers and stuff. People started like messaging like, "Oh, we love this band," stuff like that. It's it kind of like fresh thing we want to hear, like because people like roll death metal and slam because it's over the top and it's fun. And Party Can kind of, in my mind, like emboldens that. It's kind of really leans in that kind of the kind of cathartic nature of it. So I think like at that point in time, the underground was mostly like black and death metal and really like atmospheric black metal, and like there's a lot of like doom metal happening around that time. So I think when
Mm.
people found Party Can, like, oh cool, this is the complete opposite of what's happening. So
Yeah.
that kind of helped us get like the steam going and actually form a fan base. So when I started, I was like, oh cool, maybe there's like something to this. And yeah, I just kind of cool, fuck it, every day's a victory. I kind of expect us to fizzle out after 2 years, but here we are now 15 years later, playing all these other places. So I'm kind of like, I've always been like, if we get the opportunity to do stuff, we should do it because it could just end tomorrow. And yeah, here we are. So still plugging away. Same mindset. Just keep doing it
It's
until people don't want to hear it.
it's working, and I can tell you one thing, it's something I will never not want to hear. Absolutely something I will never not want to hear. It's the entire package is what makes it for me. It's like the logo, the social media, just your attitude towards everything. Like you're fine tuning your craft and you are such tight musicians and you take that seriously. But everything else, nah, fuck that. There's so many serious bands that stand around like this and fucking dress in black clothes and camel trousers and just look like they've came out of a Walmart at 3 a.m. Shit like that. Whereas you guys, you just have fun. And that's something that we all need, especially in times like these where the world just seems to be imploding. So any kind of fun distraction is absolutely needed and very welcome. And it's evident in your shows. I was at the Part Eden Half anniversary show. So it's in my top of gigs that I've went to, and I've been going to gigs semi-regularly since 2016.
Oh really? Oh,
It's funny, it's also funny you mentioned that, no matter who your high school was, you never really knew anybody into brutal death metal. I found this out actually at that show when OCD were playing their first Glasgow show back. I had went to high school with Stu and Callum.
oh really?
We went to
No
the
way.
same high school.
All right,
All
so
of us went to Denny High School. And I didn't know that until that anniversary show. And he recognized me. And I'm in my brain going, who the fuck are you? You know? It's like, oh, fuck. Small world.
despite saying that, go down around like, oh, don't nobody go to high school if we listen to like fucking brutal death metal. There's a guy from my high school that I see at gigs sometimes, and he has a Party Can hoodie on, and like, I it feels weird. I've not gone up to him like, hey man, we were in math class at some point together. It just feels a bit weird. Like I see him and I think I recognize him. He must know who I am because so obviously like if he's like seen the names and stuff, he's like, how many fucking Chris Ransom Deformland are there playing brutal death metal bands? But yeah, I bet I've not broken that barrier. It's like cool. That's like 15 years ago. I was just kind of he could be there, I could be here, and it's all good.
Yeah, no, exactly. You don't have to bring that up if you don't want to. But it just goes to show that it really is a small world. And it's really cool to see. And I'm really glad that OCD are back. And you have definitely helped lead that charge. Definitely bands like you and Scordasura from pre-COVID have laid the foundations for this huge death metal boom that's been happening post-COVID. And it's really cool to see.
I don't really think so, man. Like the current death metal boom is great and it's only a good thing. But I was really surprised to see like young people like Party Can so much now. Like that's really been a kind of recent thing. Because the current death metal boom like is nowhere near like brutal death metal or like slam or anything like that. It's like all like kind of old school stuff, which
Yeah.
is cool in its own right. But Party Can, Iniquitous Savagery, OCD, so far away from what Autopsy sound like. So,
Yeah. It's cool to see. And I'm hoping that at some point there will be a kind of slam boom happening in the wake of the death metal movement. And I know that like I've talked with people about forming a brutal death metal project just for shits and giggles, but there's definitely a lot of those bands that lean on towards that kind of brutal tendency. Penny Coffin have got some really nasty bits in it. Same with like Ageless Summoning. They've got a lot of those kind of really chuggy riffs. So it's only going to get better, I think.
oh, definitely. I'd say the death metal scene's like the best it's ever been in Scotland. a lot of people my age kind of romanticize like 2006 and 7 when like Little Day, Embolism, bands like Blob and stuff were on the go. But those are like awesome bands and stuff. But there was not like 100 people turning up to see like fucking Blob on like a Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Whereas they're like Ageless Summoning and Brain Bath and stuff were to play like anywhere in Glasgow or any demo band that plays Glasgow moment, it's fucking rammed. In fact, like Parkan played in 2022 in or no, sorry, 2023 we played the Attic in Sawhill Street in the garage. And that sold out. And down the street, Undeath played and the Flying Duck, and that also sold out. So that's like a combined capacity of like 350 people.
Yeah.
2 separate venues, both sold out. I remember going to death metal gigs as a teenager, and if there's 2 death metal gigs on in Glasgow at one night, no one was that unheard of. Both of them would be empty. So the fact that like they're still going strong, things are still selling out. That's like insane to me. Like it's definitely never been this strong, I think.
Yeah, I was at that was Undeath's first overseas show as well.
Oh
That
really?
Glasgow one in the Flying Duck. I almost regret going because I didn't get to see Party Cannon that night, but I'm really glad I got to see Undeath because Undeath are fantastic and they put
Oh
on
yeah,
a
great
great
band.
show. I
I'm talking to
remember
people like
yeah.
I
I
was them
remember
talking about it, and like if you have to choose between Park and Undeaf, go see Undeaf. They're from fucking America. Like we're from Fife. Like Glasgow's like an hour away from us. Like so we'll be back sooner than Undeaf probably.
yeah. They came back in because that was in the January last year. I think they came back in October with Municipal Waste. I regret not seeing that. I regret not
Uh,
seeing that because Municipal Waste are great. I'm seeing it in the
fun,
September though, so that's
yeah.
fine.
Fun
The
fact
day
about
before the
Municipal Waste
Party
Tour.
Cannon show.
Yeah. Fun fact about that Municipal Waste Tour. We're that close to being on it. Like
Wow.
yeah, no, like obviously like, insider business and all that. But we
All right.
email came through like, do you guys want to tour? Like fuck yeah. We like cancelled a bunch of other stuff because we thought we were going to be on that tour, and
Wow.
it just never happened. Like you just
Oh.
announced the tour of like our bands like
Oh. All right.
like, okay, fuck. Because that would be
Yeah.
like the perfect lineup. I don't know what
It
happened
would have
there.
been.
Like maybe we got a wrong impression, like when we got offering and stuff like that. Maybe it wasn't like solid like an offer. Like either way, deal on it to right. I was nearly fucking Minnesota Waste Party Cannon and a death.
Would have been really cool. I'd have absolutely went to see that, and I would have dug up heaven and earth to go and see it.
Yeah, right. That's like a mad lineup.
It was really good. But speaking of lineups, the UK Vomitour in September, we've got you guys headlining Pint Glass, Street Soldier, Fetal Juice, Death Metal versus Hardcore. Was that the kind of beginning? Was that the idea since the beginning to have like a complete, like almost half and half lineup, or did it just turn out that way?
Kinda. That lineup went through a few changes, and it kind of eventually became like to make it kind of work. It kind of ended up being a 4 band bill. But then I was like, okay, cool. Like we want all these bands on, and this is only gonna work out if these bands can do this and that and stuff like that. It's kind of like something kind of behind the scene, but it just happened that all 4 of these bands end up on the same bill. And like fuck, it's like the ultimate lineup. I didn't go into being like we're gonna make death metal versus the hardcore lineup because it didn't really cross my mind. But when I'm like fuck, this is actually perfect because all the slam fans are probably gonna like Pine Glass and Street Soldier, and all the Street Soldier fans and Pine Glass fans will like on the breakdowns and like Party Cannon, and I think and all the kind of grindy parts and futures and stuff. So like fuck, we can just really push this because I know like it's gonna appeal to a lot of people and there's gonna be a lot of crossover there, and it's just gonna be dumb. It's just gonna be fucking really dumb. Like if you see any of those bands separately, it's already like
It
an
is. I've
actually
seen all
nugget
of them live
experience. But
before. It is. It absolutely
so
is.
it'll be a good night. I think there'll be a lot. I think there'll be some disagreements in the crowd, maybe to put it lightly. But I think overall it's gonna be good. I think overall will be a kind of like unified like experience.
I think so. Because if there's one thing that unites people, it is just heavy, dumb music, and we'll have that in spades.
Yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
And the fact that it's nearly sold out Cat House as well is mental. It's low
Yeah,
tickets,
but
I think. I don't know how close it is to selling out, but it's like if you're watching this, because I'm gonna have this up at the latest Sunday. If it's not sold out yet, fucking buy
I mean,
it.
things are moving fast, so I would not be surprised if it's sold out by September. So I'm not
Definitely,
sick
it will
about it.
be. It
It's
absolutely will be.
Like not to like it's not like just a self plug, but seriously, it is like going fast. Like a lot of dates are getting up there. So if you're thinking about it, go for it. I know it's close to the Camel Corps tour. I was like a fucking nightmare about worth going. Tickets are selling. Don't want to miss out on it.
No, you don't. If if any of you have not seen Party Cannon live, then do it. It is the best experience. This will be my third or fourth time.
Oh,
Fourth
really?
time. Because the first one was when you were opening for Cattle Decapitation in Osaya pre-COVID. That was the
Oh,
first
right,
time.
yeah,
That was the
yeah. We
first
just
time.
came. We literally just got back from Asia at that point.
Yeah. It's like, I want to sleep. Yeah, but they've offered you this really good opening slot. Okay, fuck
Yeah,
sleep.
that's exactly how it went down. We played with Celtic a few times. Like yeah, we played with them in Ivory Blacks in 2016 as well. But we played with them in California at Barry Death Fest. I played with them another time as well. I can't remember when it was a Chaos gig, but there was another time as well. We're
Mhm.
playing with them in Mexico again at the end of the year. But yeah, that was a good night. That was a good night though.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I can't remember what the other ones were, but the last one was the Party and a Half show. Then the time before that was with Guar in
Yeah,
2022.
yeah,
That was a lot of fun.
yeah. That was a very good tour. Like that was like an unbelievable offer. Like I remember when it came through, I was like, "Holy fuck!" I like put my phone down, and I go walk outside for a bit, like fucking hell, like freaking out. But yeah, like I was a little bit like, when we took the tour and stuff. Like we had to think about like, fuck, are Gore fans actually gonna like Party Cannon because it is quite like musically different. But when we got there, it was the same vibe. We had, like dumb shit. Gore's like just spraying down some shit and stuff like that. So it went down really well. Like I think we won over quite a few fans on the tour as well because we've had people come up and like, oh, I've seen you at this Gore date and that Gore date. So we get some Bloodstock with Gore and things. So that was a good one. That was a really good run for us.
Because obviously you played quite a lot of festivals and you've played with a lot of really big bands as openers. Do you ever wonder what they think when they see that this is the band that they're playing with? They see that name on the flyer, especially with all these different logos that are spiky, slimy, drippy, whatever, tentacles and all that. And then you see something that looks like Toys R Us. You have to wonder what goes on in their head when they see that.
I know for a fact a lot of bands after it's like, oh, fuck, it's that band with the Beach Balls.
Oh God,
Like,
not more inflatables.
you're like, fuck, there's gonna be Beach Balls in our set. There's a lot of bands like don't want. I know. Like, I think people are probably stressed out when they see our name on the flyer. They're like, shit.
It has to be stressful with because obviously the physical live show is something that makes up a large part of Party Cannon. And I remember when we were stood outside for that show at the G2, you and I were talking and you had showed me a picture of all the inflatables. It's like you gotta wonder just how do you manage it?
Went pretty ham that gig. Like we definitely brought extra shit for that one gig just because we knew it was gonna be like a it was like the final anniversary gig. It's the biggest headline gig we'd done in Glasgow at that point. And yeah, but the annoying thing about having so many inflatables is the inflatables we buy, they do not fit like a pump. Everyone's all like, why don't you just buy a pump? But it'll be easy. It's like, well, that's because they don't fit. So they're all like, as a team effort before each set, we all go in and blow in like 20 inflatables each. And some of them are fucking huge, like a fucking whale. We had two whales at the gig, and they're like fucking 5 feet wide and stuff like that, man. And they're meant to be so buoyant they can support like a fucking adult human weight. So that's like a lot of like lung power to go into.
The amount of people I'd seen riding that whale, which out of context sounds fucking horrendous riding that whale, but the amount of people I'd seen crowd surfing on that whale all the way from the back, all the way from the front, just back and forth, it just adds to the atmosphere and it just proves that this brutal music with horrendous gory artwork and lots of things that would probably get me completely cancelled, it's just shows that it can be fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like the whole concept of like death metal being like fun. Uh, we see when like I've been going to like a festival with Death East since like 2009, 2010, or Upstate Extremes on Czech Republic. The whole concept of like this insane music like being fun, like you kind of laugh with has always been like present there. Like when I went to those festivals, it was kind of like an eye opener. I was like, right, this can just be fun. This can just be like a fun experience. So I want to kind of bring that like, element back like to like UK and to our live set. So yeah, it's kind of everyone knows it's fun, even if they still present it in a way. It's like fun music. Everyone hears a breakdown. It's like fuck yeah, I'm having a good time here. This makes me want to do dumb shit.
It definitely makes me want to do dumb shit. The amount of times that I've woke up with a throbbing headache after a show, especially a show that you've played in either Party Cannon or Iniquitous Savagery, I think I've lost count now. Either that or my brain cells have just dissolved. It's one of the two.
Could be both, man. Could be both.
Especially with just how active you are on stage, like you are constantly headbanging and you have to wonder. I feel like you're definitely going to have something up with your vertebrae in the next like 10 years.
Oh,
I
I
can
tell
see
you
it.
man. Like in the last like few years, oh, so just as I hit for 30, before going on stage, most people like warm up with guitar and stuff like that. But I've come to realize if I like people always laugh at me for fucking doing this, but I do like a full on like full body stretch. I'm like stretch like this, like get a list and go, like doing like leg lunges and stuff like that, like fucking warm my neck up and things, like stretch my back out. I've got okay, my girlfriend bought me a back roller, which is the best investment I've ever had in my life. Like 4 sets of stuff or at night, I'll just like roll on the shit on my spine. Since doing that, doing before that, I feel way better on stage, like way more warmed up. I don't feel like I'm a fucking pretzel the next day. Because beforehand, I was going on tour, and I was like not warming up. I would like stretch my wrists a bit or something like that. And then I'd headbang for ages. But the next day, I'd be like, holy shit, I've got 20 more days of this.
It's worth it though. But the UK tour, it's going to be in support of the new album, Injuries Are Inevitable, which like the last two albums have had like the first word and third word have the same letter, which is something I've noticed that, Anvil has used, which I remember back in I think 2020 or so. I think Gorehouse had posted that video of Lips from Anvil listening to like a demo of New Party Cannon material, which
Yeah,
it's just kind of mad that full circle kind of thing because they've been doing that things with their album for like 40 years and now you've started doing it. Those titles or that way of titling, I suppose, was that intentional? Especially after you'd seen, volumes of Vomit, was it kind of intentional to do Injuries Are Inevitable, or was there other titles in mind?
I don't think the alliteration thing is intentional. It's just gonna come out that way because definitely having 3 words is intentional. Uh, like partied in half, bong hit hospitalization, volumes all vomit, reverse party platter. Like also when you have 3 words in a row and you have kind of some kind of alliteration resonance, it kind of rolls off tongue better. But yeah, semi-intentional. And the whole anvil comparison is quite interesting though, because now you mentioned it, now I was like pounding the pavement and things like that. That's a good one. Uh, yeah, so it's definitely intentional, like 3 words, and is it meant to like in a roll of your tongue about whether or not is like alliteration is gonna. It just depends on the theme and the thing, because like I kind of want to be like Devourment Elms. Devourment Elms always like molesting the decapitated or butcher the weak or unleash the carnivore and things like that. Kind of like a subtle nod there, but as long as it's like memorable, as long as you get like artwork that fits with it as well, be
Oh
good.
God, that
It,
artwork, that Injuries Are Inevitable artwork.
man, like that was like I was kind of worried about putting that up because usually we do like usually I make the artwork or we make it as a team like just like DIY like yeah also like Bombs of Vomit was picture like be like thrown up and like I was like a collage of people like thrown up as well like we got people that sent in like bong optimization like we just cut a hole in Craig's shirt and put like a bong through it and got like fake blood and things parted in half we got our old guitarist Jack I built a fake torso like a coat hanger and I filled it up with like confetti and newspaper and stuff like that so he had like an actual body and he literally bent backwards underneath like a table so it looked like he had no legs and just had confetti come out so so you usually have like kind of I don't know Tom Savini like type effects and stuff like that. Obviously, nowhere near as good like Tom Savini or anything like that, but the kind of idea, kind of DIY gore aspects. When we had like actual like full on or was Bosch like style like artwork on the new album, like the label was like, oh, let's try this, and we sent me like that's insane, but I don't know if it's gonna be party can. Like I think people come to expect like an iPhone photograph of someone thrown up as a party can album cover. But that went down really well. I think people said that's their favorite artwork. And
It's
some
definitely
guy,
mine.
it is like mad. Like I don't know if you've seen the vinyl yet for it, but it looks insane when it's like so big. When we released it, a guy pulled up a screenshot of me from fucking 2015 saying, Party Can will never have digital or painted artwork. Will always just be DIY photos. Like, fuck, I've definitely sold out now. But
Yep,
yeah,
sell out, cancelled. This podcast will get deleted, cancelled. That's it, done.
yeah. I mean, like, yeah, because we were really struggling to come up with a good cover for that. Because obviously it was based on like Action Park, which is not like a theme park and involve like roller coasters and people dying on it and stuff like that. So trying to come up with like a DIY artwork of that, but I could just make myself was maybe too much of a challenge. Is like maybe I was like way out my skill set. 'Cause I'm just a guy who watch stuff on Google like cool. I watch stuff on YouTube like okay, I can mix like syrup of this and it will look like blood. But yeah, I'm happy with the way it turned out. It was most bands would not describe paying a professional artist to do an artwork as a risk, but for us, it was a bit of a risk, and I think it paid off.
I definitely think it did. And if anything else, it's something that people are going to remember because I think it fits Party Canna's music perfectly. It makes no sense. There's so much shit everywhere. I kind of want to cry from looking at it. You know, it fits. And plus, who doesn't like seeing goat seed assholes spewing fire while there's a clown with people climbing out of its mouth and sliding down its tongue? And
Yeah,
I don't know why I always point to the goat seed asshole. I don't know what it is.
it's insane. I sent guy a list of things like to put in there, and that was not one of them. Like,
Just
yeah, I just did it on the record. It's like, oh, cool, fucking
Yeah,
hell.
just here's a giant goat seed asshole. I'd be very upset if I got the vinyl and I opened the gatefold and it's not just a magnified close up of that asshole. I'm going to be very upset.
Years ago, a band called Hymenati from Estonia. I got in their like album on New Standard Elite, and when you like open the CD and you take the CD out, the kind of tray, the kind of button tray, it
Mhm.
just looks like a fucking prolapse anus. Like they've like, done artwork that is like a pink like, fucking tray and stuff. It's fucking horrendous. Like,
Is it really a slam album if it doesn't have horrendous artwork that makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable?
oh, yeah, absolutely. It is worthless to if it doesn't make you want to fucking throw up.
Yeah, yeah. But definitely, especially musically, I think and these are definitely words you wouldn't normally associate with Party Cannon, but it's your most refined, tightest, and just best sounding, which is something that you don't really associate with slam. But you guys have really pulled it off. I love listening to it. And yeah, I think it's definitely the album that has pushed you guys to like a lot greater heights. I mean, look at this tour, it's popping off, and everything else after this, it's like you've set the bar really high, I think.
I'm glad you think so, man. But because obviously when you're so close to something, you kind of don't realize it. Uh, what it could be, you can always like, oh, this didn't turn the way I wanted it to be. Is it going to be as good as the last album? Is it going to sound this good? Because I know what people think. I thought the last album, like when I came out, like cool, this is like I'm never going to top this. Like the production's good, the songs are crazy, the vocals sound great. So when we had to do this, I was like, fuck, can I really? I didn't really know what it was like. How is it going to sound like? Because I had like sort of standard in mind. But then yeah, it's gonna work out. Like I was kind of worried when we got back. It's like this does not sound anything like I wanted to sound. But I think everyone goes through that when you make an album, and then yeah, put it out and be like, yep, sounds good. But then now I have some time away from it, I'll listen again. Like yeah, I'm actually very pleased with how it turned out. There's always gonna be things that only I know is like I don't know if the B string on a bass sounds that good on an album compared to previous albums, but the snare drum definitely sounds better and things like that. But yeah, I'm glad people liked it because you never know. You just never know. Like, especially for a band like Party Can, people can expect like a certain thing from. We don't want to deviate away from that, but it's kind of like we want to keep the sound we have while doing something a little bit different, but not too different, and keep things fresh but the same. And that's kind of like the challenge because you could just easily be like, okay, right, this new album's different because we put a bunch of fucking like melodic bits in it, or this song has a clean section, or this song from no reason becomes a jazz song halfway through. That's different, but it's like a cop out, I think. So to kind of stick to your style, kind of like push it forward or progress it in a way while still sounding like a band is like that's always the big challenge for me.
Yeah. It's definitely a very hard line to walk, especially when because slam is something that it's kind of a double-edged sword, and it's really kind of paradoxical. It's something that's so restrictive, but it's something that can be really open as well, because you see a lot of bands within that kind of bubble doing so many different things. I mean, look at Party Cannon, look at bands like Peeling Flesh, for example. Like they've got all the hip hop samples and like the rap album covers and stuff like that. And it's weird to think that you can get such different, suppose, styles and aesthetics in a genre that is almost really kind of one note, which a lot of people, a lot of slam haters, which why are you watching this if you're a slam hater? But they see it as all very one note, and it's just, oh, it's that one Legion of Veracity riff over and over again. Yeah, well, it's a good riff, so shut up.
No, I totally right, man. Like that is kind of the challenge of like slam and death metal. Like, if you stray too far from what a slam is it really still like a slam riff? Like I was from a grindcore as well. Like if you do too much to grindcore, it kind of stops being grindcore. So it's kind of you need to like find that balance. You need to kind of reinvent the wheel in a way, but sometimes you need to go like it kind of forces you to be more creative in a way. I think if you can do less, that's the way
Mm,
I kind of see it. Because like I was saying, like you could just put like a bunch of like random progressive elements in it, or you could just like throw in like a fucking metalcore riff and be like, yo, that's different. But I mean, it's kind of not. It's not as creative. Just to kind of go in that direction. It's not. If you kind of just stop being slam, it's not really up
yeah,
for correction in my case. I like just take an easy way out.
yeah.
So
Definitely, I can see that. And also, for any kind of new thing you want to introduce in your sound, at least I think as a listener, because I don't really have that, suppose, composer's perspective and musician's perspective, because I can speak, just kind of tossing something in without any kind of logical build up and then climax and then kind of outro, it you can definitely tell it's just been shoved in for the sake of it. And that's something that I'm really glad to see that Party Cannon aren't doing. It's just, oh, here's this weird, like, clean tapping bass section just because why not out of nowhere. But I definitely think those elements could be included in Party Cannon music. And I definitely think that, like, you are an incredible writer, as well as, like, Craig and Mike. I definitely think you can make it work. So maybe that's the challenge for the next album, is to kind of have more of those weird bits, but still keep everything in a way that makes sense and is logical, despite everything else surrounding those bits being the complete illogical. It's a very weird line to cross, but I definitely think you can do it.
well, hopefully the next one won't disappoint. Sent the guys a new song I wrote yesterday, so if things are turning, I made a folder on my Google Drive called Album 4. So it's
That's how
going,
you know it
it's happening.
started. We have the folder. It's called
Uh,
Album 4, which means it's happening. When?
of
I
all,
don't know.
of all park and stuff, it always goes at a snail's pace. I mean, it was 7 years between our first album and our second album, but hopefully this one will be faster. Like, I mean, it's only 2 years since our last album,
Yeah.
so it's only a year gap. So hopefully 2 year max, 2 year max. We're planning on at least having a single out next year.
Mhm. Yeah. And also, amongst all the absolute party cannon chaos, there is the new Iniquitous Savagery album, which I heard
Even
in
slower.
full. Yeah, which I was very fortunate to hear at that Flying Duck show that you played with Vacuous and Rancid Cadaver. It sounds incredible. And the one thing I could think, at least when hearing the live sound, was this reminds me a lot of Scott Burns. Like a lot of that kind of Scott Burns sound, that like the first Obituary album, like the Sepultura albums, like the first four Cannibal albums, that sound, it definitely had that kind of sound production wise live. Is that a similar production style that's going to be on the actual studio recording, or is that going to be something different?
I haven't heard the album fully mixed now. I'd say I didn't really get like much of Scott Burns vibe. There is an element of a kind of old school vibe to it because Joe used the Ampeg VH140C, I think it's called. It was the same Ampeg head that Gorguts used on her album, like as in the exact same one. Because we sent it to a guy called Colin Marston to mix and master, and he reamped it. He's in Gorguts, so he reamped it through Luke LeMay's actual head. So it's definitely got that kind of old, uh, that kind of mid 90s, late 90s, like Brutal Death Metal sound. So there's an element of that. There's definitely like a nostalgia to it in a way of the production value. But I'd say it's kind of modern enough to still sound like kind of big and clear, still kind of live and raw sounded. Still sounds like humans are in a room. But yeah, that's it. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's really reminiscent, particularly of one time frame, but I think it sounds good. Basically, this is a long-winded way to say doesn't maybe sound like Scott Burns, but it still sounds very good in my opinion.
It definitely sounded good live. I can't wait to hear it. It'll be out at some point, probably, maybe. Who knows?
Yes, hopefully this year. It's coming on Willtip Records. We got the artwork back. We got some music videos back already. It's all done. It's all ready to go. We're just waiting on release date, waiting to figure out where we can fucking release some singles and stuff.
I
But
can't
I'm
wait to
happy
hear
how it
it.
sounds. Yeah, Liam, the new vocalist, news member, he has done an amazing job. I could be happy around vocal sound.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've seen Liam a bunch of times with Iniquitous Savagery and Aphotic, his other band, as well as when he did those shows with OCD. Man has got some fucking range, and I love
Uh,
it.
Absolutely. Like I've said this to Liam already, so I'm not like talking shit, but the stuff he does in Ephoric is really cool. Works that band, but it's really different from what he does for Iniquitous Savagery. So
Mhm.
when I found out he's going to come and do some demos and stuff, I was like, okay, cool. I need to heat. Hopefully he's like pull something different out because I don't think those kind of vocals will work for music. But he learned to do like ultra gutturals and like Age of Vagana type vocals and stuff to be in Iniquitous Savagery. So I like blew my mind. Like he learned to do it so fast and he nailed it so quickly. Like it's so kind of like tasteful and like appropriate as well. He didn't
Mhm.
just come in like, oh, I'm going to do a bunch of like goblin high vocals and stuff because I can. It's like no, I've listened to the band. I've honed my voice to sound suitable for the band and keep within like the aesthetic sound of what the band has been before him. So yeah, he's absolutely nailed it. He's absolutely fucking dug out of the park this one. I think when people hear what he's doing on his album, they'll be like blown away. Like just like how different it is from like a folk. It just sounds like a different vocalist. Not saying like it's not like a better vocalist, but it's just so different from what he's doing in those other bands that if people go in expecting that, they're like, whoa, what the fuck? That literally sounds like a completely different guy.
Yeah, he is a really good fit, and live he is absolutely phenomenal. That man just does not want to stay still, which is great for someone like me that likes taking photographs. It's great when you don't stand still and then like because I'm taking it on my shitty iPhone camera, which just makes it look great when everything's all blurry, which can work, but I mean it's fine. I'm there to enjoy the show. My rule is I take, a couple photos at the beginning of every set and then put the phone away. Put the phone away for the rest of the set, and then rinse and repeat for every band, 3 band, 4 band bill, whatever. But I'm there to watch a show, watch a performance. If I wanted to just hear live music, why would I take an hour to get a taxi to the train station, get on a train, which is about another 20 minutes, half an hour, and then get to the venue when I could just sit in my house and put on like a live record or put on a YouTube video or something? I go there to watch a show. And
Okay,
Iniquitous Savagery, Party Cannon especially, you have absolutely mastered your craft when it comes to your live shows.
I think so, man. Because live shows all what it's all about, really.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, I know obviously you're a very busy man. I don't want to keep you too much longer. Let's throw some curveballs in there.
Let's
Is
do it.
there anything from is there anything from either Party Cannon or Iniquitous Savagery's discography that you wish you just never did? Like if you could Thanos snap it out of existence right now, you would.
Uh, so many things in Party Can. All the Nick Saturday stuff. I think because we released so little that I think it's all good.
Mhm.
I listened to our first EP like within the past few months. Like, whoa, that is actually good. But I think like most Party Can stuff, I would probably just like bam, because like there's so many lineup changes, so much confusion about like recording and things like that. Like our whole first album was like a fuck up, like a complete fuck up. We got every step of recording wrong, and that's yeah, the fucking nightmare. Uh, I don't know if you heard the first album, Bong it. I like the songs in it. Like I think the songs are good. Just the way it's been recorded and the way we've played it, and maybe some like editing choices or yeah, we just no, absolutely fucked it. We're gonna re-record some of the songs at some point.
That
Some
was
are
actually going to be my next question. Given that it is going to be 10 years of that album next year, do you maybe see yourself going, we could do this again and not fuck it up this time?
potentially. Uh, we just need to iron out some things. If we can, we will re-record some of the songs for the 10-year anniversary. we probably won't do any like anniversary gigs or anything like that because we've
Mhm.
got like other things in the pipeline. But
Yeah.
if we can, if we can make it work, we will re-record some of the songs. Some of those songs we like still play in our set, like Jack for Six or Crustacean, like that's a fucking great song. So to get in the set and always goes down well, really well live. But yeah, fucked it though. I absolutely fucked that up. I can't like words. Like Rob, the guy who mixed the album, did an amazing job with what he had, and what he had was really bad. Like what we gave him, we fucked it. Absolutely fucked up. Like every step we fucked up. Seriously. So if I could just go back to time, like damn, or at least like make it better. Like the
Yeah.
song titles, like the album art, like fucking all happy with that stuff. All the samples we used were good, but yeah, we just fucked it. Absolutely fucked it. Absolutely like yeah. There's a few like party and down with stuff like I can't really bring myself to listen to, but I can at least like pass them off like we're like 17, 18 when we recorded those. So I did it in like a friend's house and stuff like that, like on his fucking tone port. So I can excuse those away. But the first album, no chance. The release show for that was fucking Bear Death Fest 2015. And we were on tour with Epicardectomy and Parasitic Ejaculation. So like selling that album, like fuck. People like coming out and buying it, buying like the album shirt and stuff like that. It's like, if you actually listen to this, like, but yeah, that yeah, I definitely album, definitely album.
So obviously everything you've kind of done so far has been in the slam, brutal death metal, some slightly old school death metal world with like that Laceration album you did with Hamish. I really like that album. If you could do, I suppose, like a Chris Ryan solo EP album, whatever, do you see yourself doing something entirely different, something similar? If you could just write an EP by yourself, the solo EP, what do you think you'd do?
It definitely sound somewhere between Cyprus and American football. So sad music and like mathcore mixed together. Because yeah, either that, it would just be like a proper, just like one note dumb slam EP. But somewhere along those lines, because uh, yeah, because also like, I've got like Brother Out covered of Iniquitous Savagery and Party Can. So it'd be good just to kind of I really kind of like also into call like kind of like ambient like math rock and things like that. So it'd be nice to like do something like that at some point. But yeah, when I was like younger, like, my first like proper job was like I used to play in, like a jazz band and like a wedding band and stuff like that. So I played a lot of different types of music and kind of got into like a lot of different things. So it was like fun to play. So if I had like a solo EP, it'd probably not be straight up real death metal. There'd probably be like some bits there here and there or some songs there, but it's definitely somewhere between like sad twinkling indie rock and fucking mental psychopath type stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I'd definitely be down to listen to it. I just like music in general, and especially when you hear something so different from someone that's known for something else, hearing something that's like almost the complete diametric opposite just makes it sound even better because it's like this guy's known for this, but he can do this, and it's like, and that's something that I really respect in a lot of musicians and songwriters, whether it's through their main band or if they have like a solo project or something. If you can do so many things and have so many different tools in your toolbox, it just makes you better at your main thing. It's like you have all those jazz and like technical playing, like all the sweeps and like the tapping and stuff from like your jazz days and like other bands that you've been in. It just gives you a lot more tools to even make the simplest things just good.
I think you're totally right there, man. Like I think in bands like I don't know, Defeat Sanity is always the example used because they're like jazz and classical musicians. So what makes Defeat Sanity so good is they use like concepts from like structural concepts from like I don't know like classical music or jazz and they put in like a definite context. It's not just like oh we suddenly just start playing classical music or we suddenly start playing jazz. Like they've taken like structural elements like modifying like motifs and stuff like that in death metal and applied it there. So that kind of concept there, it still just sounds more like death metal though.
Kind of that kind of thing has been around for ages. I mean, you look at bands like Atheist, like Cynic, a lot of like later Gorguts stuff. Like obviously you have Considered Death and The Erosion of Sanity that are old school death metal classics, but then everything after that they kind of put in those weird elements and those like off-timey chords and weird like tapping things and like really shreddy solos, which there's a time and a place for that stuff. I mean, I like bands like Archspire and Fairy, a lot of that kind of tech death stuff. But my heart will always be for groovy, stupid fight riffs. That's where my heart will always be.
Oh yeah, big time, man.
So anyway, before we wrap this up, I'd like to say thank you very much to everybody for watching. Thank you, Chris, for being a part of this. This was when I first started doing this, I never thought I'd have anybody from Party Cannon on this. And
Go ask, man.
it's
Thanks for asking me. Like, it's no problem at all.
thank you so much. Everybody make sure you like and subscribe, or Chris will come to your house and kick your cat. I'll have links to all of like Chris's Instagram. I'll have the Party Cannon Instagram where you can find their link tree for all the tour dates. If it hasn't sold out by the time this is uploaded, make sure you buy your tickets. It's going to be fucking mental, and you will hate yourself for missing it. Luckily for me, I have that entire week off, so I am definitely going to be there.
Oh hell yeah, man.
Thank you very much again, everybody, for watching. Like, subscribe, share it around. Again, links will be for everything. Chris's Instagram, the Party Cannon stuff, Iniquitous Savagery stuff. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you all next time.
It's everyone, guys. See you later.
Peace.